If you've ever seen an athlete go down, clutching their shoulder mid-tackle, there's a good chance they're not coming back that season. In fact, 25 to 35% of athletes who suffer a shoulder dislocation miss the entire season. Compare that to just 10% for other shoulder injuries. So today, we're breaking down exactly why this injury is so brutal, who's most at risk, and what the rehab actually looks like. Who is at risk? Let's start with who's getting dislocated. Men are 2.17 times more likely to suffer a shoulder dislocation than women. And if you're a male around 16 years old playing contact sport, you're in the right peak danger zone. The overall rate sits at 31.30 injuries per 100,000 athlete exposures. And the sports driving that number are ones you'd expect: AFL, rugby, American football, and wrestling. The common thread? High-speed collisions. The more contact in your sport, the higher your how it happens. How it does happen. So what actually causes the joint to pop out? Player-to-player contact accounts for around 65% of cases. And the single most common action is tackling, which is responsible for about 54% of dislocations, followed by being tackled at around 19%. The mechanism that does the damage is the shoulder being forced overhead above 90 degrees of flexion, or a direct impact to the lateral shoulder while the elbow and shoulder are already in the flexed position. Basically, the joint is being loaded in a position that it wasn't built to handle under high force, which is why injuries such as in AFL are so common. Risk factors. Now here's where it gets important for long-term outcomes. On the modifiable side, meaning things you can't change, age at your first dislocation is critical. If you're between 15 and 20 when you first dislocate, your reoccurrence rate is around 83% over 5 years. That drops down to 73% in the 21 to 25-year-old age group, and 47% in the 26 to 30 group. Other non-modifiables include joint hyperlaxity and glenoid fractures. On the modifiable side, the sport you play matters, as does scapular dyskinesia during shoulder movements and rotational strength deficits, both of which are trainable. For rehab, this is where the evidence gets really clear. The return to sport rate for surgical treatment sits between 71 and 93%. Non-operative rehab, 50 to 56%. And the reoccurrence rate for non-surgical management is up to 96%. So for most athletes with significant structural damage, surgery followed by structured rehab is the standard. Here's what that looks like in 4 phases. Phase 1 focuses on movement through safe ranges of motion with the shoulder protected. Phase 2 introduces increased range of motion and joint loading. Phase 3 and 4 push strength up to 50 to 75% of pre-surgery levels and add lateral rotation. Return to play typically happens around 8 weeks, with controlled contact drills beginning between 10 and 16 weeks post-surgery. Importantly though, structured phased exercise rehab produces significant improvements in shoulder function, regardless of whether surgery was involved. 3 things to take away. 1. Young athletes face the highest reoccurrence risk, so early management decisions matter. 2. Surgery significantly outperforms non-operative treatment for return to sport in severe cases. 3. Structured phased rehab is the gold standard, no matter which way you take. If you found this useful, subscribe for more sports science breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.